Hello and welcome, my wonderful friends. Welcome back to another video. It is Allie B. I am here and we're going to talk about books. Look at that. Look at me, IRL, in the flesh, ready to talk about what I'm trying to read this July. Full disclosure, my vibes are off today. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just really tired. Like, very tired. It's like my eyes hurt. I think I've spent too much time in front of my computer, to be honest, because I was doing a live stream yesterday and a live stream. I was streaming a video game on Twitch for a couple hours, and that made me tired. I talked more than I talk to adult humans. And that was just a lot of talking. So, without further ado, let's stop talking and let's go through my giant stack of books. I have a giant stack of books I want to read in July, and the predominant theme for July is read some of your book of the month books because I have so many book of the month books. I love book of the month. I just positively adore getting my little blue box every month and pulling my books out. But I have a huge stack because I am also a library addict. So I'm constantly checking out library books, and those always take precedence over my books I own because the library books have to go back in a certain time frame. So without further ado, I have some library books on my stack, and I have some books I've already started that I want to finish. And then I have my book of the month books. So let's just flip through the stack real quick. And I thought maybe, just maybe, if we have time, we could then go through my book of the month books and read the first sentence of every one and kind of put them in order based on what we think sounds the best. Okay, let's get started. So right now, I'm in the middle of Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, The Trials of Morgan Crow. I've heard so many good things about this book, so, I had to pick it up. And by middle, I'm on page 117, so not the middle per se, but I've got to say, I am having so much fun. I'm having a lot of fun in this book. I don't know why I'm actually not done with it. I just keep picking up other things to go in front of it because I forget that I'm reading it. But it's good. It's really good. Maybe I should tell you what it's about. Sorry. I'm a professional. Maybe I should tell you what this is about. So it's about this girl named Morgan Crow. She's a cursed child, and in this universe, cursed children end up dying, I believe, on their 11th birthday. Yes. So she was meant to die on her 11th birthday, but at the very last second, she is saved by this very mysterious man, Jupiter North. And boy, oh boy, it's so fun. It reminds me, I know people say Harry Potter, people say on the back it says Percy Jackson, which I haven't personally read, so I don't know. But for me, Jupiter North gives me major Willy Wonka vibes. And so I get I'm getting a Roald Dahl actually from this, and I love Roald Dahl, so I'm digging it. Digging that book. I'm also in the middle of another book that I have seen floating around the book tubes, and that is Letters to a Young Poet by Rilke. And holy mackerel. I mean, it is, you can tell, it's like a thin baby. It's so good. I am just, annotating and marking, and every page has a gem. Every page has an absolute gem. 10 out of 10. I loving this. Love, love, love. It is so inspirational. Next, I have a little stack of library books to put ahead of my book of the months. So my library books, first one I want to read is the new Tessa Bailey, My Killer Vacation, or at least I assume it's the new Tessa Bailey because I saw it at the library as I was trying to check out one of my holds. And, it's they put the new releases right in front of the hold shelf. So it's very much candy in the checkout lane vibes for me. And I just I grabbed it right away because I read the one about the window decorator. What is that one called? If I can remember, I'll put it up here. But I read that Tessa Bailey and actually really liked it. That got mixed reviews, but I loved that. I really enjoyed that book. And so I'm excited for this one. I think there's a bounty hunter involved. There's an elementary school teacher. There's a murder. I think, yep. This is a murder mystery, My Killer Vacation. And you know what? I'm here for this. I'm here for all of this. And I hope there's a little bit of a little bit of spice, because that was definitely in the last Tessa Bailey book. So we'll see. We'll see. Next book is called Cultish by Amanda Montell, another library book. Ooh, look at that ring light. The Language of Fanaticism. And I saw that Olivia Reads a Latte was reading this, and so I had to pick it up because, just complete full disclosure, I love Soul Cycle. Like, I love Soul Cycle. And so I'm wondering if it's like a cult, because pretty sure in the Goodreads thing, I'm looking right now on the inside, like on the Goodreads description, it definitely mentioned Soul Cycle somewhere. And so I'm hoping they talk about Soul Cycle. But just in general, I studied anthropology and sociology in school, and I'm really interested in social groups and in deviant social groups and in cults. So sign me up, teach me. I love to learn. So that seems like a perfect nonfiction for me. Lastly, in my library book pile, we have The Stars and the Blackness Between Them. This sounds so good, and I've seen nothing but like the most spectacular reviews. So I cannot wait to read this. I don't know much about what it's about, and I'm kind of just very excited to like go in not knowing a lot about this. Like here, this blurb on the back, perfect. Deeply spiritual and bursting with light, this is a gorgeous love letter to the African diaspora. Yes, let's read it. Let's read it. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. I cannot wait. Also, obviously not the place to come if you're looking for descriptions of the books, because I'm not doing that right now. I'm also just doing this very quickly. We're doing this quickly. We're doing this spur of the moment. We're doing, sometimes you just gotta get it done, right? You just gotta get it done. And so that's what we're doing. Maybe next time I'll be more prepared. Does that sound like a plan? That sounds like a plan to me. I'll be more prepared next time. So this time, no. Next time, yes. Okay. Real excited for this one. Already started reading it. House Across the Lake, Riley Sager, new Riley Sager. Don't know why I'm that excited, because sometimes he disappoints me. Does he? I don't know. No, I've only read 2 of his books. I did not read Survive the Night last summer because it was getting panned. It wasn't really, I don't feel like it was being very well received by most people. And usually that doesn't stop me from reading a book. Actually, that'll make me want to read it more, because I'm a little bit of a contrarian. But this one, this seems like perfect summer thriller vibe. So yes, signed up. Oh yeah, and we're going to try to read the first line of every one of these. So these are all my book of the month books. All of them that I haven't read yet. Plus I have lots more I haven't read yet. But these are the ones I want to read this month. Next is You're Invited by Amanda Jayatisa. I think this is an early release novel. It's a thriller about a Sri Lankan wedding celebration that not everyone will survive. So like, yes, yes, I want that, please. And also, like, come on with this tagline. She'll wish she'd never RSVP'd. Like, yes, that's great. I can't wait. Next, we've got Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I think the cover is really pretty. I really like it. It's about video games, I know, about 2 best friends who maybe start a video game company. And it's just, I think it's kind of a story of like platonic love. And I know, so she did write The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry. And my book club read that book, but I did not. But they really liked it. That was many, many, many years ago. And that was probably the only book I didn't read from my book club. And so I actually might have to go back and read that one, depending on how I feel about this. But obviously I love video games. Obviously I love books, and I love love. So hopefully this one hits the right way. Okay, next one is The Lifestyle by Taylor Hahn. Pretty sure, yeah, this is the one that is about a married couple that gets into the swinger scene in New York City. Interesting. It's a it's an Emma retelling. Wait, what? Wait, what? I, you know, I've never sat down and read Jane Austen, but I'm 99% sure there aren't swingers in Jane Austen books. I could be wrong. Like in the comments, tell me if there are because that wow, okay. Um but it says this is full of heart and humor. The lifestyle is the most fun Emma retelling since Clueless. So wait, I think I need to add Emma. Should I read Emma first and then read this? I kind of think yes. I think yes. Okay, okay. Cool. I'm just getting a giant stack on my lap. Okay, next, I've had this one for forever, Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins, she wrote The Wife Upstairs, which I heard lots about, but I didn't read that one. So I'm pretty sure this is about Pacific Ocean. They're on a boat. A bunch of 20 somethings who end up, somebody dies, you know, pretty girls on a boat. Someone dies, figuring out who died, who did it. It says a gothic sensibility, island gothic sensibility, sexy suspense, and spine tingling reimagining of an Agatha Christie classic. What are all these? What is this a retelling of? What are we retelling here? Is this retelling and then there were none? Is this? I've only actually read 2 Agatha Christie's. I've read 2 and I've seen like a movie version of Murder on the Orient Express. I read and then there were none, and I read The Halloween Party. Halloween Party, meh. And then there were none. Great. Thumbs up. Very good. Okay. So don't know, like, what is this a retelling of? Maybe if I find it, I'll like display it here and we can all be like, oh, that's what she's retelling. Cool. Okay. Last two. We've got The Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis. This one, I added this one on one month because they talks about the Spanish flu outbreak of 1919, which I'm starting to get into a place mentally where I'm ready to read about the last global pandemic, right? I'm ready to read about that and, make some comparisons. And I just haven't been ready. I haven't been ready, but now I am. So this woman, Lillian Carter, she was a model. It says here, her mom dies, and then she gets this opportunity to work in this big mansion. But the longer she works in that mansion, the more she gets tangled into this like family's drama. And then all of a sudden, this woman, another lady who is also maybe a model. Yeah, she's an English model. Her name's Veronica. She moves into this old house, and then she starts to find hidden messages in the mansion. Interesting. So, and there's a murder. So, Magnolia Palace sounds good. Dual timelines. I dig it. And lastly, so excited to read this one. The Cartographers by Ping Shepherd. Let me throw a book around. Okay, so this one is like this woman, Nell Young, her dad, Dr. Daniel Young, is a map maker? No, study of cartographer. Look at the title. He works in the New York Public Library, and she got fired because they had an argument over like a map. I think that was an argument about like the interpretation of the map. And after his death, she realizes that the map is exceedingly rare and a mysterious collector is like hunting down everybody who's ever owned it. And it says that this is perfect for fans of Joe Hill and V.E. Schwab. I am both. So yes. And, my sister-in-law, she read this book and said it was wonderful. And so I've got to read it this month. Shall we? Shall we now go through the first lines of every book and kind of put these in order based on their first lines? I think yes. So let's start with the Cartographers. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, good. In the dim light of her desk's single bulb lamp, the map nearly glowed. Okay. Okay. It's about a map, and we got a map on the first line. I am like a huge proponent of a first line that just knocks you down out of the park. Like, I think my book has a first line like that, to be honest. I write books. Well, I've written a book. Let's put it that way. I think my book has a line like that. I'm allowed to gas myself up because mostly I'm pretty negative. Okay. Chapter 1. And this is Magnolia Palace's first line. New York City, 1919. Lillian Carter stood half naked, one arm held up like a ballet dancer, the other hanging lightly down at her side, and calculated how long she could avoid paying rent while her landlord was in jail. Shush. Yes. Ooh, okay. We've got naked. We've got jail. We've got calculating. We've got avoidance. Wow. There's a lot of conflict in here. I dig it. Okay, that was a pretty good first line. That was a good first line. What about this one? Reckless Girls. First line. Give it to us. Salt water and blood taste the same. Whoa. That's a good one, too. Okay. The lifestyle. I'm kind of scared. Will I be able to read the first line of this and still be family friendly? Because that's very important to me, to leave a family friendly legacy. Okay, it does open with like a quote from Emma in here. Like, so there would have been evidence even if I hadn't read the dust jacket. Georgia Wagman. No, her name is not Georgia. Try again. Georgina Wagman's life was so good, she felt bad about it. So a pretty good first line, too. That's a pretty good first. These are all, like, kind of hidden. I don't know. It's going to be hard to pick. I mean, honestly, it's what comes after the Riley Sager is what we're actually picking. Okay, Gabrielle Zevin's first line. What do we got? We've got an Emily Dickinson poem. How do we feel about that? How do we feel when an author, like, puts a work that holds like reference or meaning to the following text? Like, how do we feel about it? I'm not sure how I feel about that, so I'm genuinely curious. 1, sick kids. Okay, are they actually ill? Okay, I don't know. Or it doesn't mean sick as in like really cool. Before Mazer invented himself as Mazer, he was Samson Mazer, and before he was Samson Mazer, he was Samson Mazer. A change of 2 letters that transformed him from a nice, ostensibly Jewish boy to a professional builder of worlds. And for most of his youth, he was Sam, S-A-M, on the Hall of Fame of his grandfather's Donkey Kong machine. But mainly Sam. Okay, that's like an entire paragraph. That was a pretty long sentence. But it did like give us a lot of information. So good. I mean, again, just like the Cartographers, introduces right away like where we're going. But for me, a first line really hits if it's like a snappy, like, you know, salt water and blood taste the same. Like, ooh, hey, like, whoa. Those are the ones. And that's not to say, caveat, that's not to say that it's not going to be a good book. That's only to say the first line didn't like clinch it for me. Okay. You're invited. First line. I woke up with bruised knuckles and blood under my fingernails, more rested than I have been in years. Okay. Intriguing. But like not snappy. Okay, House Across the Lake. I mean, this is the one I'm reading first, but we'll read the first line anyways, because I thought it was good. Also, Riley Sager quotes Taylor Swift song. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. I just don't know how I feel about that. The lake is darker than a coffin with the lid shut. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one. Okay, so this is definitely, this one gets it. Like, so I'm reading that one first. Then I think next will come Reckless Girls, because that line, that got me. That got me. And then I've got Magnolia Palace after that. Then I've got The Lifestyle. You're Invited. Kind of, yep, here we go. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I'm probably saving the last two. These are probably the best works of fiction. Like, if we're going to be critical, you know, like what will be critically acclaimed versus what is just a fun romp. But these will be the last two, which scares me because I don't know if I will get to them. So anyways, those are my reading plans for July. Welcome. What are you reading? Why? What vibe are you looking for in the summer? Because I think my vibe based on the stack is like murder. I don't know. There's a lot of, seems like there's a lot of murder in here. Maybe a little mystery. I don't know. I'm scared I won't get to any of the book of the month books actually, because I'm just looking at my little looking at this stack. This would be pretty good. Like if I read this for the rest of July, I could be like pretty proud of myself, I think. Okay, let me put these in actual like order. Okay. So I'm going to reveal. We're going to do like a reveal of the official order for the month of July. Are you ready? Okay, good. Oh my god, they're heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy. It's so heavy. Okay. You ready? Okay. This is the order. This is the official order. Oh, yes. Amazing. Fantastic. That's it. That's all. I'm done. I better get to reading. Goodbye.